Hello and welcome to the His and Her Show with Jody
and Alex Misiak.
And today we're coming live. We're doing a live Q&A of the His and Her Show podcast.
Yep.
So we're super excited about that.
First time ever.
Yes.
So new ground, new technologies, new things we're working with, at least for me. So, bear with us. And for those of you that couldn't make it, thank you for sending in the questions. We'll get to those.
Yes, we definitely have a few questions that were sent in, so we will definitely get to those. If you're on the line and you're listening live, just press *7 and your line will be unmuted. We just mute everybody so then there's no feedback coming in, or extra background noise, I should say. So let's get started. What do you want to talk about?
Well, we should. It's only about an hour, right? For this event?
We're not even going an hour. 20. It depends on how many people want to talk and share, because you can share stories, like a little bit of maybe something, a podcast you've listened to of ours that has really resonated with you, or that you took like aha moment, or something you took away from something,
or something you want more clarification on.
Yes, yeah. Or like ask a question, or you can just share a story with, like, we always talk about, sharing things, so we don't want to stop you from sharing something.
Yes.
Well.
If there's anybody who wants to pipe up and share a story like my snowblower incident, by all means, please. So
it doesn't have to be
the only one.
It doesn't have to be like that either. But
no,
you can also just you can just share a story, something that's been going on for you, or just something you've learned, like a life lesson kind of thing, or whatever whatever you feel called to do today.
Right. So I think we should jump right in to our questions that we've got sort of queued up.
Okay, sounds good. Every so often, I just will be refreshing just to make sure that there's no comments going in as well.
Yeah, or no new people joining us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first question was how do you stop blaming yourself for mistakes you've made? This is a good one, because I think we all do this. I'm very guilty of doing this. Did you want to start, or you want me to try and sort of talk about what I do usually?
You can start first if you want. I have a whole thing ready to go for this one, because It's a big one for a lot of people, including, like you said, yourself and myself. We all tend to do it from time to time, where we might blame ourselves for something, or we kind of keep living from that mistake. Like, it kind of keeps running our life.
Yes.
So by all means, I would love you to hear your feedback, and then I will pipe in as well.
And this is important, because this is one of those things that, like, if you continually blame yourself for something, like, that's where sadness can lead to depression. Because I've been down that road. So definitely you got to stop blaming yourself for mistakes in the past. I definitely have to work it over in my head for a little while. Like, I can't just dismiss it. Like, if I made a mistake, I realize it was a mistake, I can't just let it go immediately. I have difficulty doing that. So I do have to mull it over for a little bit. But recently, I've been very conscious of how long I'm going over that thing in my head, and writing it down is a little bit better, because then you can sort of catch yourself going into these circular, talking about the same thing in a circular fashion, so you're not getting anywhere. That's a good stopping point, being like, okay, I've talked it over enough. Now I can sort of, now I can let it go, kind of deal, right? Now I can say to myself, okay, well, I made this mistake, and yeah, hindsight's 20/20. Maybe I could have done something differently. Maybe I couldn't. That's what the writing down part helps you figure out. And then I let it go. I'm like, okay, well, what can I learn from this? Make note of that, either in that same notebook or mentally, and I let it go. And I know that sounds easy, but it's not easy to do. And I think what I might try doing, actually, especially for things that keep in my head longer, I might keep referring back to that notebook, going, right. I've already covered this. I should be, Stop bringing it up.
But
Alex,
should means that you're beating yourself up again, though. Like you should be doing this or you should be doing that. There's no right or wrong.
No.
There never is, and that's what that's what gets us in the problem of blaming our past, like what we've done in the past. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. So let's say that I'm like, okay, so I do all this stuff, and then you guys share too. So we'll circle back to what I do and how I can how I can change the process.
I'm just saying it's thinking you should do something means that you're thinking you like should means that you're following it because you think you have to.
Okay. Yeah.
Shoulds mean that that's not truly what you feel.
Okay.
And it's not coming from a place of authenticity as much as like you feel like you have to, or else something bad's gonna happen, or like somebody's gonna be mad at you, or when we use the word should like that.
All right. Well,
we have a kitty on our podcast.
Yes, we do. Usually.
Well, he's here now. Okay. So the first thing for me is with blaming ourselves on the past is even awareness. That's the first thing. Like, so the person that asked this question, we do like to leave names out of it unless they've actually said they want their name mentioned. However, even just asking that question is a really good step, is that you're aware that the past is kind of keeping you stuck. So awareness is the first thing, because a lot of us, like I look back before I really went like kind of hard on the self-love journey, and I had a lot of things running my life and controlling the direction of where I was going without even knowing it, like things that I did. And so awareness is first. The second one is realizing that you're not alone. Like you just said, right. You have it, you shared, and I love that your shares. Sorry, I nitpicked on it. I'm just saying, like, your wording, it's just watching what's kind of controlling the need to do it. But it's knowing that you're not alone. Like I look at it and it's like, there's definitely lots of things I haven't owned. And I've shared a lot on our podcast of things that mistakes I've made. You even did with the snowblower.
Summer's coming. There might be mistakes for the lawnmower.
No, I'm not putting that out there. No. It will be. We're gonna swim perfectly through lawn mowing season. So it's knowing that you're not alone, and that's why I try to be as authentic as possible and share like some deep stories. Like I think I've even talked about like my drunkenness, like things that wasn't proud of, but I actually owned it this past year. Like sometimes we hang on to it. So it's knowing that you're not alone, and that's like a first, if you're coming out of a place of shame and blame, then you can't move forward. So, and when you feel isolated, then it's even scarier. So just knowing that you're not alone on this thought that, these negative, like the blame game kind of thing, blaming yourself. Like a lot of the time, we fall into usually to two categories unless we're moving up the emotional scale, where it's either we blame ourselves, and that's we usually feel shame, or we move up and we now blame somebody else.
Right.
So it's like getting out of that victim mode in general. Because when we're blaming ourselves or when we're blaming others, we're still kind of in victim mode. And the thing is, we have control to live an awesome, amazing life. So it's like, let's get out of victim mode.
Okay.
And actually, there's this really cool thing I heard, and it's thinking of your life as a triangle. See, one corner is victim mode. The other one at the bottom is, what's the opposite of victim? I'm drawing a blank.
Not sure.
I love it when it's on live.
That's okay. The idea of on the opposite side of victimhood is
the villain. So
okay.
So you have victim and villain,
okay.
and then on the corner you have hero.
Oh, okay, on the top.
So when you're the hero,
okay.
Now it's not about being any of these corners. It's actually getting away from the triangle in general.
So going right in the middle?
No, just throwing the triangle. So
okay.
Use it as a sail to like sail into your future.
Okay.
Because it's not about placing blame on yourself or on others, and it's not about being better than other people. Because or hurting people. Okay, so because you have victim, poor me.
Right.
Like, why did they do this to me, or why did I do this to myself? And then you got the other one, the villain, where it's like I'm gonna go out and be destructive or whatever it is. Then you got the hero where you think you're better than everybody else.
I see.
So it's taking this sail and just letting it, like, let the wind gust in and, like, let you blow forward.
Taking this triangle and instead of gluing to the corners, use it
as a sail.
as a sail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not about any of those things, right? It's really just being about who you are.
Okay.
So here's a big one, and I think you talked about it a little bit. I was actually trying to find my notes when you were talking, so I apologize. But the big one is why. Why are you blaming yourself?
Okay, so you have to answer that question.
Yeah, I would write it down. I personally write it down. You can just ask yourself, but think about why. Why are you blaming yourself? What beliefs are you holding on to?
That's how you keep asking that.
Yeah.
We talked about this in a podcast. You keep asking yourself why until you find the right answer. Like, okay, sorry, I don't want to cut you off your notes.
That's okay.
That's what you're talking about, right? Like you keep asking why until you get to the actual reason.
Well, so you ask, like, what beliefs are why are you holding on to these beliefs? Like, so maybe something you did, you see yourself as stupid.
Yeah. So
like,
why?
Like I think about some of my drunkenness days, and I'm like, I could have looked at that as, and I have to think back now actually, because I have definitely released that, but it was definitely shame. I've definitely felt shame around it. Having my grandma take care of me when I got so drunk. The thing is, it's like, so shame. It's like, well, what stories are like, so shame or blame is really why are you hanging on to it? Like, what is it keeping you safe? Like keeping you small so you don't have to go out, or you might be hiding from something. So like I said, keeping small or not really going outwards, chasing your dreams. Like maybe you're just afraid to do it. So you're keeping those stories kind of in your back pocket. Mm-hmm. So when you go out, like for instance, even with my business, I can find myself falling into, what's the word I'm looking for?
Victimhood?
No, not victimhood. Self-destructive.
Self-destructive. Okay,
or self, like, let's do self-destructive, or like self-sabotage. There we go. Self-sabotage. Right. Sorry guys, live and I'm messing up things. So self-sabotage is, so when things are going really good, and this doesn't just mean business, like even in life, if you look about you're going, and all of a sudden you do something that you normally wouldn't really be you, but you do it because things are going so good. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's self-sabotage.
Yeah, so self-sabotage, when things are going good. So these stories might only be bothering you when things are going good. Because in your mind's like, well, things can't be good. Gotcha. I got to hang on to these stories, and that's why I'm like, they're in your back pocket. Like, so you pull them out, because like, well, they can't be that good. I did this in the past.
Okay. Yep.
So it's really, why are you holding on to them? Why, like, they're not serving you anymore, right? Because they're in your past. The only thing you need to focus is on the present moment, and then kind of an idea of where you want to go in the future. The past is, gone. You can't change it. And a big one to ask yourself, is it serving you anymore? Is the story serving you anymore? Like, what blame are you putting on yourself, and like, what mistake did you do, and why? Like, why? Like, or is it serving you anymore? Yeah. Okay, so I just had to do a little check with the thing. So that's a big one, is ask yourself questions, why? Because when we blame ourselves, we can't move forward. So I love that this question came in, because this is, near and dear. I love these questions. So, and then it's really about start loving yourself again and making peace with the past. And I feel like, was that an episode once, Making Peace with the Past?
Something like it. Maybe that wasn't the exact title, but yeah.
Or I've definitely done it on Coffee Chat. I kind of get cross, So it's really about also forgiveness. So I have a really cool, how we're doing for time. Okay. I have a really cool thing for forgiveness that I got out of Miracles Now by Gabrielle Bernstein.
Okay.
So it's making forgiveness a practice.
Okay.
So and this is something really good to remember, because one of the things I didn't mention is when we will always blame ourselves for something. Do you know what I mean? Like something will always come up. And I shouldn't say always, but new things always come up. So why not heal something that's happened in the past before more things come up? Because here's the thing, we're human, we make mistakes. It's kind of practicing forgiveness for ourselves, most importantly ourselves, and for others. And it's not about accepting, something that somebody's done that was really bad to you. They could have been like abuse or things like that. Because forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about ourselves.
Got it.
So even if it's outwards, I just wanted to mention that. Not that we want to talk too much about that today, or at least not for this question. But it's realizing that forgiveness isn't anything about the other person. It's about us. When we forgive ourselves and when we forgive others, it helps our own body. Like when we hold blame and regret in our bodies and grudges, yes. It shows up really badly. It can in our bodies. So just know that forgiveness is for you only. It doesn't have to mean that you have to forgive the person's behavior or what they've done to you, but just forgive on a whole different level. So this practice is really cool. So I love this. This is actually something that was out the book too. 90% of the practice of creating new habits is just showing up. 90% is about showing up. So it's all about showing up. So if you're listening to this today and you need to forgive yourself or the person that sent in this question, if you're blaming yourself for the past, just know that 90%, like sending in this question, is you're creating a new habit just by showing up. So again, this is from Miracles Now by Gabby Bernstein. Or Gabrielle Bernstein. I always call her Gabby because that's her shorthand. Yeah. So Gabrielle Bernstein. So this was out of the book. Like this is word for word now. Just for 1 minute practice forgiving yourself. Make a conscious, purposeful action. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. It only takes a few moments, but it's radically transformational. So 4 steps, super easy. First one, witness the attack thought. So like I said, awareness.
Yeah.
And then you breathe into the feeling of discomfort. Because one of the things we've mentioned before is you have to feel the feelings. It's not about shoving it down into a bottle and letting it explode later. You need to feel them. And those emotions are there for a reason. Number 3, feel the feeling. Like we said before. Number 4, say to yourself, I forgive this thought. I know it's not real.
Okay.
So those are what you can do for forgiveness. And here's a little quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It's a constant attitude. And I really thought that was brilliant.
That's good. So
things are going to happen in life. Somebody else is going to do something to you. They'll cut you off while you're driving or, and those might be moments that you only get mad for a second and then you move on. But things happen and it's an attitude, forgiveness. And again, it's not about it didn't happen or, being okay with because there's a lot of people that go through abuseful situations. So I don't want to say like that's okay.
Yeah.
It's just knowing that you're not okaying their actions, but you're forgiving that it happened. Like it's really forgiving. A lot of that actually with abuse, we're not going to get into today, but a lot of the victims actually feel blame for them. Like they blame themselves for being in there. So that can actually fall into that category as well. So just know that forgiveness is an attitude. Like think of it as an attitude. Like that's cool. Like empowerment. Forgiving people is very empowering and it helps you become more empowered. So does that?
I think that covered it really well. The question again was, how do you stop blaming yourself for the mistakes you've made and that attitude or practice of forgiveness? Oh,
sorry. I just looked at my notes and a couple more things. So I could talk about this one all day long. It's about, like I mentioned before, focus on the present as well. And that's why, like in the step 4, say to yourself, forgive this thought, or I forgive this thought. I know it's not real. It's because it isn't anymore. That was in the past. You're not who you are. Like you're not the same person you were when you made that mistake. because a year ago, a month ago, a day ago, you're not the same person. You're constantly growing and changing. So it's about focusing on the present moment if you're having a hard time forgiving yourself. So it's getting in the present when you start thinking about your past mistakes. And then also a really cool thing for me that has helped me is mistakes equal lessons. Right. So if you see mistakes or failures, not as so much mistakes and failures, but you see them as like, oh, how did I grow from this? What can I learn from this? And the moment you might not, like, so if we're talking about past, you might actually be able to see it now. Mm. But if it just happened, it might be harder to see. But a lot of the time, like if I make a mistake and I'm like, ooh, and I see myself and I start seeing, like I kind of step back and I can see myself beating myself up, I ask, what can I learn from that instead of, beating myself up, or, why did that happen? And what can I learn from it?
Yeah.
So it's not so much about like, oh, I really failed, or, I made a mistake, or whatever it is. It's really just thinking about like, what can I learn from this? What can I take away from this?
And that might start the root of a new practice or new practices, so that you learn that thing, and then you no longer need to hold on to the memory or the well, you don't need to keep blaming yourself anymore because you've learned what you needed to learn.
Yes. So sorry.
I was going to say, so there's some action there.
Yeah, I actually have a couple more actions that I want to do real quickly that they can leave. So it's just like the one I said from Miracles Now, but then there's some that I've come up with that I use with my clients when I work with them one-on-one and when I do my group coaching is write a letter to yourself. So start writing. This is where you forgive yourself in a letter.
Okay.
You can write, and there's tons of ways of doing this. I don't know if I've shared it before, but you can write in a letter, and you can even write from like the past you. Like you can write to your past self, from your future self, or from the present self. Like there's multiple ways of doing it, and it's doing what feels right to you. And like I said, when I work one-on-one, like then we go into details, which was the best way for them and things like that. But it's writing a letter to yourself. So grab out your journal or a pen and paper, and then there's even a ritual of it where you can burn it after and like let it go. Because a lot of ritual things like that really help release it. Because a big part of it, like you mentioned earlier, is letting go. Mm-hmm. That's the last step, and sometimes we forget that step. And then
that's the hardest step.
Yeah, because we don't really want to let it go sometimes.
Yeah,
like
some
I said,
part of us wants to hold on to it. Yeah.
And then create a self-love practice or build on the one you already have. So it's really building about your loving self. And actually, one of our questions is about that, so I won't go into too much of that. And then there's EFT technique or freedom technique, which is also known as tapping. And you can do that as well, where it can help you kind of get those blocks where you don't know where they are. Because self, development and like all this fun stuff is great, but sometimes we don't even know where the feeling is. Mm-hmm. So tapping on top of it is really helpful. So you can Google that. I actually have it in my notes. I feel like, because Miracles Now is actually a fun little activities that you can do. And I feel like that's in the book too. And it's on page 99 if you have that book or if you want to get the book.
Miracles Now.
Yeah,
right?
Miracles Now.
Okay.
And so then I just want to end with this question with this. The past is the past. And when you make peace with your past, beautiful things start to happen. Yeah. For real. Like I'm talking from experience.
Yep.
So it doesn't mean we're always perfect. It doesn't mean like the future is going to be perfect. But the more you forgive and the more you look at it as a lesson or something to learn from, the more you'll start doing that. It's like a little muscle.
Yeah, and the less time you'll spend blaming yourself for past mistakes, which is the goal.
And just know that we all do it from time to time. Do you want to read the next?
Well, I was going to say, we started talking, like there's another question we had that we already sort of got into.
Oh,
right?
we totally, I just answered 2 questions. So whoever.
We'll build on it.
Okay.
Like, we'll continue it because it was feeding really well into this other question that we got. So the question is, while I've heard a lot of things about how important self-love is, I'm not sure how to tackle it and accept myself for who I am, or whether or not I know that I can change myself.
No, it's to know if I have to change myself instead.
Oh, okay.
So they don't feel like because I actually, I was talking back and forth with this person to understand the question better. And it's to to know how, like, so they don't know if they need to change themselves or if they can love themselves now.
I was going to say, I think you need to do both, don't you?
No.
No? Okay.
I first want to address, like, and I talked to you about wording before, and it's like tackle, and I feel like that itself makes it sound harder than it is.
Or aggressive, yeah.
So when you tackle something, not so much, I don't want to say aggressive. I just find language is beautiful because you can pick up on so much of it when you ask, like when you know, I can ask me a question and I'll see a lot more than just the question.
Because of the word choice.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So tackle. Let's not tackle anything. It's more about taking baby steps, and really, it is unfortunately not something we can tackle. It's something that we need to slowly, build and change and take it one step at a time. And part of a self-love practice is knowing that when you fall down, so brushing yourself off and getting back up.
Okay, so
oh, sorry, you go.
I was gonna say, so
I was just checking.
So not so much about not tackling. So not maybe that's an interesting word choice. So what you look at it as you're not sure how to start your self-love practice. Maybe and we've talked a lot about how to start your self-love practice, right? And although the tricky part is accepting yourself where you are right now.
So I want to actually first address this question with knowing that you don't have to change anything.
Right.
Even this past year, I've been going through self-love practice, or my self-love journey for over a decade now, and I'm constantly learning and changing and understanding things differently. So yes, you're going to feel like you change along your journey, but it's not about changing anything. It's about growing. So just being and like asking this question opens up space to grow and learn. You know what I mean? Like, so stepping out of your comfort zone and asking this question really helps. So there's nothing, and for a long time, I thought I had to change to do things. I had to change to become a empowerment coach. I had to change, to be a better mom, or I had to change to run a business, like all this stuff. And it's not about changing. It's about embracing who you are right now. Mm. And then obviously, I'm a life learner now. I had a hard time with learning in, the school years. And now I love it. I thrive on it. And that's where things happen. Like, it's not about being static.
Okay.
And thinking, oh, I'm at this place of awesome. I can just ride it out here in the awesome world. It's just about but it's not about chasing anything or chasing a different person. No one has to be different than they are today to go out there and make their dreams happen.
Okay.
But the fun thing is you're not going to be the same person you are when you make those dreams happen.
Because you're just changing.
Yes. But it's not about focusing on the change.
It's just happening.
The more you try to change yourself, the harder it's going to be.
Right. Okay.
So listening to podcasts like this or reading books and taking courses or whatever fills you up, that's going to help you really grow into the person that is going to have that. Does that make sense?
Yes. I like the fact that you're like, okay, you're going to change as you learn and grow.
Mm-hmm.
And as you start to build up these practices for yourself. So don't focus on trying to change. It's just going to happen.
Now, you can have an idea of who you would like to be, I guess, but it's not like when we start thinking so much of who we need to be or something like that, it really takes away with who we are today. And it makes us feel like we're not good enough now. That's a big one. And that's why a lot of us aren't feeling good enough, that we think we have to be somebody else to do that. And we will be somebody else. But that doesn't mean you have to worry about it right now.
I see. No, I can see where this question is coming from then, and how it's like, well, but I want to be there, and I'm not there right now. So
it's actually really cool because it's coming from a male too. So it's fun to get your perspective on this.
No, it makes a lot of sense that it's like, all right, how do I become this person? And it's like, don't worry about the end goal so much as like focus on what's happening right now, and then start on that journey. Just start doing those things, building up those practices, finding things that light you up, learn about self-love from us or others. And we've talked about the difference between self-love and self-care and how they're complementary but not quite the same. and so on. Yeah, that sounds like a really good advice. Don't focus on your end goal. Just focus on who you are right now, and
it's being
pick up that even if you can just, if you're having a hard time starting, and some people do, I myself included, just pick like that one thing. Like, okay,
baby steps.
I'm gonna do this today, and then I will do, and then the next day is like, okay, I did it, or maybe I didn't. It's like, okay, well, I'll try and do it this, and then
it's not,
you build on it.
That's why I call it self-love practice. It's not about being perfect every day or any time. It's about just building. It's like, oh, today I did it. Great. Yay. Let's go do it again tomorrow. Try to. And then you don't. And it's like, okay, I didn't do it today, but I can totally, giving up just because you're not moving forward is never,
Well, you've talked about this before, or you're starting to talk about it right now with the confidence muscle, right? It's something you have to like build, like a workout routine. It's something you have to do daily.
Yeah.
And
the more you use it, the
stronger it'll get.
Exactly. So
I think we covered that one pretty well.
There's something else I was going to say and I completely forgot, unfortunately.
Well, if it comes back to you.
Yeah.
So don't focus on where you want to be. Just you can have an idea. Have an idea.
Thank you.
Okay, I
yeah, you got me back on track. Thank you. So a big one is, it's about being the best version of yourself that you can be today.
Okay.
So it's who you are and just showing up authentically. That's the biggest thing about the self-love, in my opinion, is showing up authentically. Like, so it's not about lying to yourself or lying to others around you to fit in. And that's where it's like being your best version of you now. Mm-hmm. And then adding that self-love practice in so you can continuously grow and just fall in love with yourself more. Because like I said, I've been on this for over a decade now, self-love. And I'm a lot different than I was the person 10 years ago. But I feel like I'm still not where I'd want to be. But I don't focus on that on a daily basis. Every so often it slips in. It's like, oh man, like, maybe I had a blow up, or, I felt I attacked myself, or things like that. And it's not about being perfect. It's not. And it took me a while to even realize this. It's just about showing up as who you are, and then be open to grow more. It's really about opening up. So I hope that helps with this question. And actually the other question is, how do you learn to forgive yourself? And we actually already talked that into, like, that rolled into the first question.
It did.
So hopefully that also helps for the person that sent in that question as well.
But, if you feel like you'd like to know more about any of these topics or other topics, you can always, the email address that we've been promoting for this live event, that's not going away.
We did, but we actually had a form fill out. So it's easier to gather questions instead of on emails get lost. Is that
form still going to be available?
That is going to be 100%, because it's also on my website.
Okay, so that will still be available. So if you want to send in questions, and then maybe we'll make it into the next live podcast that we do, because it's fun and I like doing it. And or maybe it'll just be like a regular podcast.
We can always just throw it into the next podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on if we're not doing a live, we'd like to do it a little bit more often. But we also have something new. I wasn't going to share this yet because it's only May, at the end of May, that this will be going out live. So anybody listening live gets to really hear this, but this live will be going out on our podcast website at the end of May. But we have something really exciting happening in July because it's our 1 year anniversary. I'm not going
of doing the podcast.
Yeah, of doing the podcast. So of doing the podcast. So I don't want to say any more right now, but we have something really exciting happening for the month of July. So we might not do a live again until maybe this fall. So like I said, when questions come in, then we can just answer them on the podcast. When we do record a little bit ahead of time because life happens. So we want to make sure we don't, drop the ball here. So just ask them. And if you really need it you need an urgent response, just let us know. And I can always send an email, or we can send an email back to you. So those are options, but we'd love to hear your feedback or your questions, for sure, just so we can help you. So we hope you've enjoyed. I'm just making sure that no one's raising hands and stuff like that. Sorry. Okay. So if you're on the line and you want to to do one last thing, unmute your line, just press *7. So we're just giving it a second. You and I will talk. And if anybody wants to
pipe in,
then they can.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you have any last?
Some closing thoughts?
Yeah.
No, this was fun. We'll do it again. And I like that we can collect these questions and hopefully, I know what we've said something today that someone needs to hear. So that's I like that mantra that we have that we do before our podcast. So I know today we've said something that someone needs to hear, and I like that, putting that out into the universe and creating that together with you. So
well, thank you. I love doing this with you too. Okay, well, we hope you have a beautiful day, and thanks for coming on live if you're listening live, and thanks for all your support, guys, and
stay tuned for more.
Yeah, June is going to be a fun month too, so stay tuned.
Bye for now.
Have a beautiful day.